Macy's Chinatown, although it was not really a conscious kind of a methodological design. Just simply by being in the field, I had lots of opportunities to walk with my participants as they were moving through their everyday spaces, when they go shopping or when they go take a Tai Chi class in the community center or go to catch a bus. And then I more consciously employed it as a methodology when I moved to Hong Kong and I started to try it out as a new methodology. So as you're aware, linguistic landscape researchers often select an area to study as their research site. But the boundaries of the areas can be quite fluid and porous because people move through spaces. They don't live in one single space. So in Hong Kong, I was quite intrigued by how people with different linguistic and cultural backgrounds move through spaces. So I'll conduct interviews with them, ask them to draw me a map of their activity space, and then with their consent, also let me through their activity spaces and talk about it. So that not only gave me a sense of what are the places throughout the city that are important for them, but also as a linguistic landscape researcher, I could observe whether they were paying attention to a certain signage or not, and how their everyday activities and also their identities might influence how they engage with the linguistic landscape. So I would follow them around. Again, go shopping in the supermarkets or corner shops, wet markets, and we'll talk, and I'll hold a GoPro camera in my hand, and also I have a backup audio recorder with the participants so I can capture the sound a bit. So I guess that brings us to talk about the challenges of a walking tour methodologies.
Can you tell us a little bit about the challenges?
So it's so we are not sitting down as we're doing at the moment, so it can be very noisy, and the streets of Hong Kong especially, so there are lots of background noises, and also participants might take you to places that probably not part of the original research plan. Actually, my paper on markets came from this kind of surprises when one of my participants took me to a wet market. In our walking interviews. So initially, I wasn't really planning to go inside, but that opened again new doors to research as well. So what I realized as I've been working on walking interviews in London's Chinatown is that sometimes it doesn't take very sophisticated technology to capture the participants' experience of a place. So in London's Chinatown, I've actually downgraded the technology to audio recording and still photography, and instead of video. Well, first of all, it was out of ethical concerns because the videos will record and capture in pedestrians who haven't given me consent for the research project, whereas I have more control over the audio recording and also the camera that I'm holding in my hands. And that also frees me up to observe more of how my participants engage with the place. So which I will then write down in field notes. So old-fashioned pen and paper. So yeah, so I think with every research site, we have to kind of adapt our research tools as well, and that doesn't always necessarily mean, very high tech recorders or anything.